folks. Welcome to Chaos Customs. Once again, I am Richard from Chaos Collectibles. Here today, we are kind of at an impasse. We are really kind of in between projects. We did finish up our Warhammer Space Marine. I think he came out pretty good. Boxed him up and everything. This is something that, like I said, in the future we are going to have a giveaway of some kind. Once I got to figure out how about we're going to do it. That's a work in progress, though. I also need to finish up this Space Marine. I have some touch-ups to do on his backpack, as well as find his box. I have to do his mace and do a little bit of work on this machine gun that I gave him. That actually isn't his, but we're going to modify it so it works well with him. And then we're going to box him up, and that's another one that we will give away. So we're going to have 2 upcoming giveaways. Hopefully people are interested enough to get involved with that. But like I said, at this point we're kind of at an impasse because I don't know where to go with our next project. So I can either return to working on our LOD 2000, the version of the Legion of Doom. I can work on the Onita, which I've already done Onita before, but I did him in the jeans with the leather jacket and a cigarette in his mouth. There's actually pictures of that, I think, posted on the YouTube as well as most of my social medias. So this is the more traditional wrestling attire Onita. Not a whole lot of work left to do on this, really, just to change the knee pads, paint, but I have to do the head, as well as put Onita on the trunk. So this may be something that I do quickly on the page, just to get it finished, because I have a couple of projects that have just a little bit of work to do. So that may be something that I do as a quick passover, like do a few figures that have some touch-ups, or like I could do that Onita and the Chaos Marine, finish those up in one show. And I think that would be a complete show and get out there. Today's episode is actually going to be rather short because I have some movie reviews I'm going to be doing this week with AJ. You see, last week we had our Summer Sound review. It's a little bit different than what we have been doing on the custom show, but something, like I said, that we will deviate to here or there, strictly because, like I said, I'm in between projects, moving a lot of stuff around, battling health issues, as well as working on other stuff, trying to get my business running. Honestly, it's been extremely slow summer, so it's really it's been really tough to make a living. So hopefully we can get that kicking back in. So those are 2 things. I also, something that is going to take a while, which is I can also start by finishing up the sweater on my Notorious B.I.G. That is it's a daunting process. It's a long process, just because it's a lot of fine detail. But that's something I think a lot of people out there would like to see. So that is something we will definitely be doing on the channel. I'm just not sure which project we're going to next. So if you have an opinion, please go ahead and leave comments. I'd be more than happy to listen. I can also start a brand new project. Maybe there's something out there that you'd like to see me do or try. I have a lot of pending projects that I've been considering. I need to get my hands on a few more GI Joe bodies to get to work on some of those. I have a ton of wrestling projects coming up. Also, I need to get. Thing is, funds have been really tough. Like I said, it's been a really tough summer. I need to get my funds together because I'd like to get the clamshell so I can start doing, like, once I finish my Biggie and finish my my Tupacs done. I would really like to get them in boxed, and that's something that I'll be selling more than likely, as well as some of my others. I just really like. I think they look a lot better when you box them up to sell them. So, like I said, I'm at that weird point where I'm not really sure exactly what my next project will be, or at least not the next big project. Like I said, that Onita and finishing up that Space Mariner, that's a given. Those things have to be done. As well as obviously the Legion Doom 2000 is a bigger daunting task. Not a whole lot left to do on Animal other than cleaning up and figuring out the makeup that I'm gonna do for him. The picture that I used as a base of my Hawk and Animal, both of them have full heads of hair. I know there's at a time where both of them had fades where they were kind of growing their hair out, but the the picture that I have that I'm basing mine off of, they have full head of hair. So I'm probably going to lean towards finishing that. There's not too much left to do on Animal other than doing the head, getting him on, getting that on, doing the hair and everything, and then the designs. I also have to finish up some work, some flesh tones along the legs, touch up some of the blacks here and there, and then change the color of the shoes, as well as get the LOD 2000 design on there. So Hawk has a ton of work left to do, but I mean, I still have to repaint his flesh, and paint the boots and tights, as well as the head. So that's probably a bigger project that more than likely is the next route I will go. So that's a couple of projects we have coming up. But I'm wondering what people out there would like to see. Would you like to see me create another Joe, perhaps? Or mostly what I do a lot of classified G.I. Joes. I do a lot of wrestling figures. I may, if once I get the parts, I'm looking through. I got to look through. I have bins and bins of fodder pieces. So, and I also work with trade with some other customizers out there to get parts. So I am looking for some pieces to make an upcoming requested Marvel Legends. Just at this point, I have the body that I need. I'm just looking for the right head, and I'll start in on that one. So, but like I said, I would really like to hear from people out there, figure out what you guys enjoy, like what you would like to see, as far as maybe you want to see some modifications, how I do things like the hair, or maybe some adjusting. I don't do a lot of modification on heads anymore. Head sculpts to make originals. I used to do it. Like I'd find somebody that kind of looked like the wrestler or the character that I was trying to do, and then do a little modification, whether it be sanding parts away or using sculpty to add to it. I mean, I still do it in parts to add like hair and facial hair and stuff like that, but for the most part, there are so many really awesome sculptors out there that offer 3D printed heads that it's easier to purchase them. That's the easiest to go. However, I might do some modifications because there are ones where you're adding to a uniform. You're adding pockets or something extra. This was a Big Boss Man figure that I sanded down the police uniform that more or less that he has, and resculpted everything. Unfortunately, I got in there a little too deep with the putty because he doesn't have the upper torso articulation that wrestling figures have. That was something this was very early on. This is actually my second Notorious B.I.G. figure. And it's kind of a learn as you go process. So I've learned in time how to not do that. But this was so early on that his torso is pretty frozen. And I'm sure I could unlock it. I could get in there with an X-Acto knife and everything, but I'm afraid it would ruin the paint job that I've got so far. So I'm hoping, like I said, that's another thing I want. That's why I want this one in a box anyway. So once it's carded, it's kind of just the way it looks. I am looking. I know there's a bunch of head sculptors out there and a bunch of people that do celebrities and musical artists. The one figure I really, really, really want to make is Old Dirty Bastard. But I have not found a head sculpt out there. I've found Method and Redman, a couple of the other guys. You know, I'm a huge Wu-Tang fan. ODB is one of my favorites of all times, and I would really love to find a proper head sculpt and make an original ODB. So if anybody out there sees a sculptor, knows of anybody that's got one, I would be 100% interested in getting that. Other than that, other projects that I have, I have some Killer Bees that I can do. The heads have already been painted because I had, and I've spoke about it before on this podcast. I made the bodies for a customer that had already had heads made for him, so he sent a request for the bodies. So I just made the complete figures. And now I have head sculpts with no bodies, so I can probably make those. I have my British Bulldogs over here, which are complete. I just need to change the paint. I need to paint Dynamite Kid's boots, and I want to box them up and have my British Bulldogs together. All right, so fishing through our fodder that I have. This is just, these are some heads that I've had for years that I need to work on. Ooh, that's not good. Okay, it is. As I said before, I have my Killer Bees, which need bodies. That's kind of a given. I need to search for those. I do have it's almost comical, but it is, I don't know if it will focus on that. That is an Okada head. I have, this is one I actually cast myself, so there are some air bubbles in it that I would need to fix, but I have a Cody Rhodes. We have a long-haired Owen Hart. Ooh, let's not break it. We have a short hair, slick back hair, Owen Hart. We have Tony Schiavone. And we have Jesse Ventura. So those are some of the some. I have a lot more headcasts in there that I need to. Some of them I need to figure out who they are. I don't remember. They've been sitting in there so long, so I need to kind of figure out exactly who they are. And figure out which route I want to go with it. I think an Owen would be very fun. And I'm going to do some research because I can't remember if it's the long hair or the short haired Owen that was part of the Nation. I'd like to do that. Well, that's the old black and yellow Owen Hart, the caution sign on his tights. I think I'd like to do that Owen, as well as maybe the King of Hearts. Definitely want to get old school Jesse Ventura done. That's pretty easy though. Honestly, I have an old superstar Billy Graham around here because I've had multiple Billy Grahams, and it's honestly just about head swapping and doing a little painting. There's not a whole lot difference between Billy Graham and Jesse Ventura. However, I might look into finding a way to do his bolo. I don't like the ones that Hogan came with, the hard plastic one, so I might find a way to do, I meant boa, not bolo, might try to find a way to do the boas like Jess used to wear. Might have to go through my fodder and figure out exactly what I have. Also, figure out exactly who to use for Owen. I'm assuming probably someone like, the 1-2-3 Kid or somebody like that. The Okada one is the one that's going to be a little different or a little difficult. I think this is based off of a Japanese either keychain or they had these like little figures with big heads. It's a little almost comical the way this head sculpt looks. But maybe if I get the right paint and the right body on him. Luckily, he's a bigger dude. But once again, that's trying to figure out exactly which version of him I want to use. I'm thinking bicycle shorts, maybe, instead of the long tights. And Tony Schiavone, it's just a matter of finding the right suited figure to put him in, or maybe I'll go with that WCW polo sweatshirt he used to wear. I don't know. So, and the Cody Rhodes. I mean, there's so many modern Cody Rhodes figures that are coming out. I might try to do... I'd do a little research to look into the hair and everything. But I might try to do the old... the dashing Cody Rhodes. The Cody that... Either that or with the mustache. I know there was a figure that was made, but I believe it was only a basic. So maybe I can do the old mustache Cody Rhodes. But so I guess those will be the possibility of my upcoming projects. If you have a preference on any of those, leave a comment. I'm taking everything in consideration. I need to get more parts especially when it comes to like Marvel Legends and GI Joe classifieds. I need to start getting together a bunch of fodder for that, just so I can continue to move forward with making those. There are a few projects that I'd really like to do. As far as some of the GI Joes go, I want to update Gung Ho. I'm not happy with the Gung Ho. Mine is pretty much the basic Gung Ho, but I don't think it's very practical for a somebody in the military to be running around shirtless. So I think I'm going to change him up. Change up his head and everything too. I don't mind the mustache, but I think I'm going to get rid of the mohawk he has. I'm more into the classic bald Gung Ho. But I'm thinking about getting I'm trying to think of who's a bigger. Outback. Outback has the bigger, more muscular body. Probably getting an Outback together, and maybe switching the arms out. So he'll have the shirt, but it's going to be like more or less a muscle shirt, like the sleeves cut off, and he'll have bare arms. And I'll paint it either olive drab. Or it depends on, because I'm going to have to do a water slide decal, because I want to put the Marine logo on his shirt. I would love to do the red and yellow with the pit bull, so the red shirt with the yellow pit bull in the USMC. But I'll have to look and see what kind of decals I can get my hands on. But so I'm going to do like a muscle shirt, bare arms, I'm going to change his weapon because he'll have his grenade launcher, but it's not the most practical weapon out there. So I'm probably going to give him a primary with the grenade launcher being a secondary weapon. Find a way to hook that onto his backpack, I think. And like I said, get rid of the mohawk, have him be bald. Just so he's more of a practical figure. And I'm trying to think of any other Joes that I was planning on working on right now. I'd like to get my hands on a bat actually I have to look through the boxed figures I have. I may have one because I'd like to do, since I started my Destro in the Iron Grenadiers Destro. Like I made my own Iron Grenadiers Destro. I'd like to make an Iron Grenadiers bat. I also have my Iron Grenadiers hand-to-hand combat instructor, CM Punk. I need to get an actual Iron Grenadier soldier together too. I know there's one coming out. It's probably going to be out of my price range for right now. But I know there's head sculpts out there and everything. I can build my own. And like I said, what I'd like to do is make them more practical. So I'd probably do one, get my hands on the head sculpt and everything, but have it so the heads are interchangeable. So I'll have a masked and unmasked Grenadier. And I'd probably like to get a couple of those together, just so I can build my my Iron Grenadiers. I'm a huge Destro fan, and the next thing I need to work on is getting my Dreadnoughts together. But most of those are out. I mean, I can just purchase the Dreadnoughts and put my team together. I have Zorana, Zartan. I made my own Road Pig, and I much prefer him compared to the one that is on pre-order right now. I don't hate the one that's on pre-order. It's just I pictured him more. He's more massive, more a big muscular dude, and they have him kind of fat, and it's just not what I envision my Road Pig to be. No hate against it. It's just not the way I'd have him in my universe. So I am happy with the Road Pig that I have. So I just need to get, the base. I need Buzzer, Ripper, and Torch. I'm not too keen on some of the weapons they come with, so there'll be some adjusting when I get those. So I'm probably going to purchase some open ones and just get the base, the bodies, the figures, and get those together. So I'll have my Dreadnoughts. Dreadnoughts is another offshoot that I really, really like. I have my twins, which I've never bothered to open, but I have a set of twins that I'm going to. I want them in their business suits. I'm putting my twins together in business suits, which my buddy Joel is actually getting those fodder pieces together for me. So I'll have those moving forward, as well as I'm trying to remember what other projects I have going as far as G.I. Joes. I have, there's a guy that on TikTok that does, he has an eBay store and everything, and he does sculpts and head sculpts and weapons and all kinds of stuff. He goes by the name Spec Ops on TikTok. He has a full his Globulus that I think is available. I'm probably going to get together with him, get that from him. But I think I'm just going to get the torso and the arms and head, I'm going to do a different bottom, the snake bottom, because I've seen some done that I really liked with the McFarlane, the big mechanical Cobra that came out. So that's something I'd like to get together in the future, as well as I need to get together a Pythona. That's because I have my Nemesis Enforcer. I'd like to get Globulus and then Pythona together. Getting the Cobra Commander. Obviously, the I Am a Man version, the Snake version of Cobra Commander is going to be hard. But once people start receiving their pre-orders, I'm sure the head sculpt will come out very quickly. The head, the arm, probably the torso. So I'm sure it's going to be. I would like to just have the head sculpt and put it on a body, a Cobra Commander body, and not really change much. Maybe the hand, one of the hands, but I'd like it to be where his uniform isn't completely ripped apart. And the other one, the one that I really, really want is I'm looking for a really good head sculpt for Dr. Mindbender. I'm a huge Mindbender fan, but I hate the figure. I've always hated the figure because Dr. Mindbender is a professional wrestler. That's what they make him look like. The man's walking around in spandex purple pants with high boots, a cod piece, and a monocle. Shirtless with a cape. He looks like a professional wrestler. Which, maybe in the 80s it was cool. Everything was so just kind of random as far as the figures went. but I'd like him to be more of a functional doctor, more clean cut. I think I've found the body that I want to use for my Mindbender. I just need to get my hands on a proper head sculpt. A lot of them now that have come out, everybody has like the mechanical eye or the cybernetic eye and stuff like that, which is, I mean, it's cool. I don't have a problem with it. I could work with that. I think I would do them a little bit differently if I had that one. So maybe he wouldn't be such a clean-cut doctor. If I did that, maybe I'd give him like a robotic arm or something. I don't know. But I'd definitely like to get a Mindbender together also. And other than that, Alley Viper, I would love to get my hands on a bunch of Alley Vipers and work on those. Have, like, I'd like to have a Iron Grenadiers version of the Alley Viper, I love the original Alley Viper, is ridiculous as that color scheme is, but I'd also like to have one that's a little bit more practical, something that's a little bit more makes actual sense. So that Alley Viper with the orange and blue is gonna stand out no matter where he is. But yeah, that's pretty much the Joes that I would like to create, because there's so many that are coming out that you don't really have to make customs. I mean, you got Alpine coming out. You have, like, there's so many Hasbro is releasing that you don't have to delve into making customs, because, I mean, they're coming out. There's still a ton of wrestlers that I need to do. Besides, a lot of them are 80s, 70s, and 80s wrestlers. I need to. I also have what's called the Crusher and the Bruiser, which I've made. I have in my personal collection, but I'm gonna make another set and probably sell those together for those of you that are old enough to remember the Crusher and the Bruiser back in the AWA days. To God, way back when. Those are some really old school guys. I have a Brian Cage that I actually got from a buddy of mine that I want to do I'm going to do one of two things. I want to either do the Swolverine, so he's wearing, like, he did show on his Instagram his new Wolverine inspired, I think it's his vest that he put up. I don't know if he put up the trunks, but I'd like to see what the trunks and the boots look like, as well as his knee pads. Either I want to do that version, or the Sting-inspired version of Brian Cage, or the Machine, where he has, like, because the figure comes with two heads. I would do one in ready, wrestling gear where he's nothing, and the other one will have the half cybernetic face, as well as, do the gear for that. So that's another one. I'm just trying to figure out exactly which version of Brian Cage I want to do. I need to finish my Mark Briscoe, which I just need to get his tattoos and put those on. As well as Hook. I need to get his tattoos and put them on. And other than that, I mean, there's not, like I said, there's a ton of old school wrestlers I still need to make. I need to get, like, I have a huge bin full of some of my earlier work, which I'd like to repaint a lot of those. The flesh tones are just very basic. It's very early on. It's just basic, no depth to the color, one coat flesh tone. So I'd like to really get in there and repaint some of those flesh tones on those. I have the Von Erichs. I have I'm trying to remember. I have Fritz, David. Carrie is just it's a custom made off of the original. I think it was WWE. I think, was there an Elite that was put out, or it may have been Jack's head, whatever, on an Elite body. That one was put together using some stuff. The one I don't have was actually my favorite of the Von Erichs is Kevin. I need to get my hands on a head sculpt for a Kevin Von Erich. I wasn't happy with any of the WWE head sculpts. They don't look anything like him. And I haven't seen anybody release a proper Kevin Von Erich head sculpt. But I'd really love to get it, so I'd have the full Von Erich clan. I don't think anybody has done Chris, which would be awesome if someone did, but I don't know if we have upcoming anybody's going to do a Chris Adams. I mean Chris Von Erich. I'm thinking Chris Adams because I have the dynamic duo, which is Gina Hernandez and Chris Adams. I need to do some touch ups on that. I'd really like to have the space. My back stock for the toy store has taken up most of the room that I was building, and I was hoping to be able to have a lot of my customs out for display, but there is so much back stock, which I really need to start selling stuff, more than the fact that basic survival, but I just have so much stuff taking up so much room at this point. I would really like to start getting things selling, but there's so many wrestlers that I have customized that I to be able to display them, just to if people would be interested in purchasing them. I have Taz, Shane Douglas. I made a Hangman Adam Page, a long time ago. I made the Bucks a long time ago. I'm trying to remember who else. There's so many. I have my own custom Hollywood Hogan. I have a custom Macho Man that I did. I have many custom Ultimate Warriors, which are mostly just repaints. Like I said, I have a huge bin full of these custom figures that I had made. I have multiple CM Punks. I'm a huge CM Punk fan, so I have the CM Punk and the G.I. Joe attire. I have the CM Punk in his UFC fight attire. I just need to add some more tattoos to that, and he'd be all done. And as well as, like I said, these things are ones that need touch-ups because the paint is just very basic. That's something I'd really like to I'm probably going to do here on the show is show what they originally looked like compared to, how I do them now. I think almost every one that I have on my display right now has been repainted to a more modern style that I do now. Nothing is done in the original one coat base paint. So, but that's something I'd like to crack some of those out and show the difference and how you do it simply, without having to do a whole lot of reworking and possibly ruining something that you've already done. And I know I haven't been looking at the camera. I've been looking that way because that's actually where a lot of my customs are right now. So I'm kind of looking at those. So that's another thing that I'd like to do here. Like I said, I'm at an impasse right now between what I'm going to do and as far as projects and having something work. That's why I'm just kind of throwing out ideas right now for you guys to see if the stuff that you'd be interested in. If I mentioned anything on here that you would be interested in seeing, please comment and let me know. That way I can focus on something like that. I am open to any suggestions as far as what you guys would like to see on this channel moving forward. So definitely, if you heard anything in any of that, like I said, there's a lot of wrestlers. There's going to be a lot of touch-ups, a lot of changes, so I can show the difference in how my personal painting style has changed. Like I said, you never stop learning. I'm constantly watching people's YouTubes and stuff like that. There are a lot of creators out there that I think are way better than I am, and I learn from them all the time. So if there is something that you would like to see, like I said, reach out. Let me know. I do take commissions. If there's something that you're looking for, also, reach out. You can either do it in the comments. You can send me a direct message. You can send me an email, even though I'm horrible with emails. Or like I said, if you just have an idea of something that you think's would be you would like to see, or maybe that's something that would help you. Maybe you're stuck on something and you need help with it. So, like I said, moving forward, there are a lot of options that I'm working with. A lot of things that I have in mind. It's just having the plan out. I think the first thing I'm gonna go with, though, and all this talking, is I am going forward with the LOD 2000 version of the Legion of Doom. I think that will be the simplest to do. Also, the Onita and finishing up the Space Marine. So those are two. The Onita and Space Marine is probably one show, so it'll be done, and then it'll probably take me a couple of weeks to do the LOD 2000. So that'll be a couple of shows to do moving forward. Hopefully that gives me time where I can pull out some of the other customs that I have, so I can show you the repainting, as well as maybe some of my ideas have changed, as far as, because a lot of them have you're talking about the 1980s, a lot of these wrestlers were from, so they have very basic gear. A lot of them have very, very much the same boots, knee pads, everything like that. So, like to get some of that stuff that's more accurate. I changed the way I do wrist tape on a lot of figures. I started using medical tape instead of just painting it on. I think it looks a lot better. I tend to do that with like my CM Punks, stuff like that, figures like that. If they're just regular tape around the wrist, I do still do the paint, but so there, like I said, there's a possibility of a lot of things moving forward. I want to do, the other thing I'd like to do is, there's AJ's comic book company has a one of their main comic book titles is called ZKS, Zombie Kill Squad. And years ago, a lot of years ago, I started working on custom Funko Pops for them. And I kind of just lost my train of thought on that. Like, life got in the way. There's a lot. I actually found the base blank pop that I was working on. So that's probably something I'm going to do here on the show, because that involves actually sculpting a few parts, as well as painting original art. I'm going to be drawing directly on the Funko and then using that as my base for the paint and everything. I need to get make sure my pictures and everything are accurate for what AJ wants. I have a female right now, and I need to get my hands on the male. I have them somewhere. I just need to dig it out, the blank male. So I'll work on that for him. And yeah, pretty much like these are I also have something that I've been working on forever. This guy is very, very has been super patient with me. So a few years ago, actually, quite a few years ago, even I think it was pre-COVID, guy reached out to me, and he's actually become pretty friendly. Very nice guy. Jerry, he used to wrestle under the name The Candyman. He did a stint in WWE as an enhancement talent, and I had started working on a figure for him years ago, and it's actually right there. It's hard to see. It's actually glittery the way his tights are. I have a jacket for him that I need to finish up. He also has this jacket here, which goes with the figure. I need to finish touching it up and seal it, do one more coat on it, as well as add some details to it. But that goes with the Candyman figure. Need to also get his alternate hands. I'm going to try to take, I think, like a heat gun or something to this so I can fit this in here. I don't know, or maybe I'll find another backing. I don't know where it fits a little bit better. So I'm going to figure out a way to get this thing bubbled in here so it actually fits properly. And honestly, this is for the British Bulldog, so I probably need this for my dad and my kid. But like I said, I'll have to finish touching this up, seal it properly. I'm probably going to throw some glitter on the white. No, on the red. Look how I have it on his tights. Yeah, so I'll throw some glitter on the reds, and then put the candy canes on the lapels to finish the buttons, and get that. Like I said, he's been super patient. It was a special request, but, life had gotten away. My mother passed away. COVID happened. I got really, really sick, which I still, to this day, have been battling. That's why I can't work a regular job. COVID really did a number on me. COVID pneumonia did a really, really bad number on me. I'm very similar to what Keith Lee, I imagine, is going through from everything that I've read. Very similar to the stuff that Bray Wyatt went through. I'm having a lot of lung and heart problems because of COVID. So it really restricts what I can do physically. And for somebody that's always worked physical jobs. I mean, granted, I was working at clubs and DJing and managing, but I was, throwing kegs and stocking beers and stuff like that, and I can't do that. Even walking around a grocery store for a while, I get really winded, it really wears on me. So that has really limited the stuff that I've been working on over the past few years. Like I said, Jerry's been extremely patient with this figure. So I'd like to get it all finished up and out to him as soon as possible. I'm working on. I just got to find the right bubble to put the figure in, as well as get a clamshell and make him his own card back and everything. So that the Candyman will finally be done. He's honestly just a very, very cool guy. He's on Facebook and all that stuff. Very nice. He has multiple times reached out to me just to ask me how I'm doing. When my mother passed, he sent his condolences. Someone that I've never met. I've just talked to online. Super nice guy. So I'd really like to get that finished for him and over to him. So. That is something that is actually probably a priority of mine that I'd like to get finished. So I think actually we're going to finish up on the Candyman. That's our next project. And honestly, I didn't even think about it till I looked down and saw the figure which is something that happens all the time, and that's why I feel so bad that it's taken me so long, because simply I forget about it a lot because it wasn't high priority. It wasn't something that was making me money. It wasn't something that a lot of people maybe don't remember Jerry in the as an enhancement talent in the 80s. I do. I've seen a lot of his matches. I wouldn't say a lot, but I've seen some of his matches. And he's just, like I said, a super nice guy, very friendly. I will search out and get the right bubble, get this completed for him. get this completed for him and sent out to him. So that's actually going to be my priority, is to get this finished, which is not a lot left to do. Finding the right bubble for him is probably the hardest, but I can even find ways to cut away and make my own to get this to fit in there. There's definitely a way to do it. I'm gonna definitely have to really seal the heck out of this so it doesn't get ruined in with the movement, so the paint doesn't crack or anything. If there's anybody out there that has the bubble or the whole, even if it's the whole box from the Zack Ryder figure that came with this, or the Sting, I'd be really interested in getting my hands on those, just because it makes my job a little simpler. But whatever I have to do to make it happen. So these are some of the upcoming things, definitely, that will be happening. So I think next week we will be working on the Candyman, and piecing together the last things that I need to finish him up, and working on getting his card back together. I might actually reach out to Jerry and ask what he would like as far as his bio and everything on the back of the card. And I know he's on his Instagram. He's had, or not Instagram, on his Facebook, he's had some really cool artwork that people have done, like a cartoon version or a comic book version of him, maybe a picture, and like for the card back, so I could put it all together and get it in a clamshell and send it out to him. So moving forward, that's some of the stuff we're going to be working on. Like I said, anything in particular you guys would like to see or learn, maybe I don't know about it, maybe I'll learn it too. Just reach out. Once again, subscribe, like, comment, share. Let's try to get that algorithm up. I would really appreciate it. Like I said, this whole podcast is a big commercial for my toy store. I am a struggling small business. I sell toys, like I said, with the problems I've had with my health and with the heat, it's been really hard for me to work on that back stock room, the room that's going to be my studio and all that. It's closer to being done. There is moving some large cabinets and stuff that needs to happen. But as soon as that's done, there will be a tour there. I will do another tour of the actual store that I have in my garage so people can see it. And if there's anything you're looking for, please reach out. I haven't been getting inventory since the beginning of the year. So anything that's new that's out, I really don't have right now, simply because I haven't had the funds for it. We haven't been selling a whole lot. I do sell video games, video game consoles, action figures. I have comic books. If there's something in particular you're looking for, reach out. I have thousands of comic books. It's just kind of hard for me to get to those all because we haven't had the opportunity to organize those all. But I can get to them. If there's something you're looking for in particular, I can look for it. What else do I have? I have... what did I say? I said video games, video game consoles, action figures. We do have some statues. We do have, both. We have some loose, not a whole lot, but we do have some loose figures. I tend to take the loose figures for my fodder for customs. So, but like I said, if there's anything in particular that you're looking for, reach out. If I don't have it, I probably know somebody that can find it for you. So I will do my best to help people find what they're looking for. So I appreciate all the support from everybody. If you are a business that is looking to maybe sponsor somebody, I'm open to having commercials and working with people. I could use some new microphones. These are old microphones from when I used to DJ. They're not the best of quality, but hey, we work with what we got, right? We got to be on that grind. So I appreciate you all. Thanks for watching, listening. We will get to work next week. Like I said, we'll be working on the Candyman. So Jerry, if you get a chance to see this, we will be finishing your Candyman figure. I know it's been 4 years. I do apologize, but like I said, life gets in the way when you're running a business or trying to run a business, dealing with health issues, dealing with loss, COVID, all that stuff. It happens. So appreciate all the support out there from everybody, and be sure to check out the website, which links are all in the bio, as well as the picture that has the website coming off. Be sure to follow AJ at forbiddenpanel.com. AJ and I will be doing movie reviews this week. We're going to go see, I believe we're going to go see Borderlands on Tuesday. I don't know which day I'm going to publish this, so we're going to go see, I believe we're going to go see Borderlands on Tuesday. And on Thursday, we are going to see Aliens. I think it's Romulus, the new Aliens movie. I am super stoked about that. It's the first Aliens movie that has looked old school horror since the original. As much as I love the Aliens franchise, and I absolutely love the Aliens vs. Predator movies and all that. They're all a little tongue-in-cheek in a way. They're not horror movies, which when Alien first came out, it was a horror movie. And I begged, we're going to go into a personal story here. And I think I've talked about this before. It's one of my parents, it was, until the day they both died, my parents' favorite story about me when I was a kid. And the Alien came out in, I don't remember what year it was. I honestly don't recall. I was young, regardless of what it was. I was a kid. It may have been 78, 79, 80, somewhere around that era. I was born in 73, so that if that tells you anything. So I begged my parents to take me to see Alien, at the drive-through or drive-in. At the drive-in. My mom was a huge horror movie. That's why I love horror movies. My mom was a huge horror movie fan. My dad absolutely hated horror movies. My dad grew up on the old Mexican horror movies that, were extremely, especially back in the day, you're talking about the 50s and 60s. They're really bloody compared to films that you would get on American releases. Which is why my dad had this really big fear of rats. There was a movie that he remembers as a kid where rats, they filmed it and the rats were eating people, and it was just like really bloody. Well, bloody for then. Like I said, you're talking about the 50s and 60s, so movies weren't really gory back then, but some of those, like some of the Japanese and Mexican and horror movies from other countries were a lot more graphic and a lot more gruesome. So my dad hated horror movies. Mom absolutely loved them. I used to watch horror movies with my mom all the time. So when the commercials and everything came out for Alien, I begged my parents to take me to go see it. I really, really wanted to see it bad. So I finally, worked my way into getting them to take me. We went, very early on. It was within the first week of the release. I doubt it was the first day. Maybe it was. Up the street there used to be a drive-in movie theater. I was little in the back seat. We're watching the movie. And like I said, this is my parents' favorite story. You're talking, what is it? 15, 20 minutes max into the movie that the famous chest buster scene happens. As soon as that alien pops out of the guy's chest, I hit the floor in the back seat of the car and fell asleep back there. Like, I did not get up. My parents finished watching the movie. Obviously, there was nothing. I mean, they weren't going to take me home. I wasn't crying or anything. I was scared. I hit the floor, didn't want to see anymore. Fell asleep down there. And my parents would bring that up literally at least once a year until the day they both passed. And it is hilarious. I that was actually probably the last time I've ever been scared in a movie. But that feel of Alien is what I think Romulus has, that horror movie feel. And I am extremely excited to see that once again, and very hopeful for this film. So upcoming, I know it's going to be, the reviews will be on AJ's posts and on the Forbidden Panel website, as well as his YouTube, which I believe is under Panelcast. I will probably post them too, or if not, I'll at least post the links to his. I'll probably just post them, but so we have those coming up. And other than that, like I said, we have these projects that I'm going to work on going forward, as well as maybe some original stuff. I'm thinking about making some original wrestlers, perhaps, or Marvel characters or G.I. Joes, ones that aren't, ones that I've totally made up. That's something else that we could look forward to. So I appreciate everybody. Thanks a lot. Once again, like, subscribe, comment, share. Also, if you know somebody that would be interested in the stuff that we have moving forward, please reach out. Also, reach out to them. I mean, share with them, let them know the stuff that we're doing here. I am working on a location. I do have a location for the live classes, which will also be available online. I believe we're going to have like a YouTube link where you can pay to learn from our live classes. So we'll film the classes, and it's a lot more in depth than what you see here. I do a lot of explaining and then cut to the finished product, whereas there it's literally step by step. So we do have a location coming up. Hopefully very soon we'll be doing the live classes once again, myself and Joel. As well as I got to get Joel on here so we can talk custom figures. That would be awesome to do. So appreciate you all. I keep saying it, but thanks for listening. Have a good one, guys.